Alright, I think this is a correct angle. It looks a little bit weird, but I'm just gonna go with it and understand a little bit like this. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Tabletop Reviews, where my voice is recovering, but I believe it's good enough to actually complete it. And this is Costa Rica. So yeah, a little game from Look Out Spiele. Let's get it to the table and set up and play it. Alright, I've decided to set up this one up beforehand because the setup of it is a pain in the ass. Basically, this middle row here will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you'll go 4 away from the middle one here, 4 away, 4 away, 4 away, 4 away, and you will connect those by 3 in the middle here, and then fill in the blank. I usually actually start from the middle here and say 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Then I say 2, 2, 2, 2, and then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then fill in the blank, going outwards. That's so much easier. But basically that's the setup. It's a pain in the fucking ass, especially when it is about 100 degrees Celsius outside. I am boiling. Yeah. Then you set up an expedition person from each player in the player colors. I decided to use 3 this time. Where they said this corner, at this end, and this end, at this end, at this end, and at this end, obviously. Somebody gets the expedition leader. I started at yellow, and everybody gets this little player right here. On this side, it first of all says you get 20 points if you have one of each animal. You can see here the animals, leopard, and yeah. And it says here, 1 of the same is 1, 2 of the same is 3, 3 of the same is 6, 4 of the same is 10, and going upwards. Then you see here the split of them. The one on the left is the rare one, the one on the right is the not rare one. And basically there is twice the amount of not rare than there is rare. This one shows how many are double. We're basically meaning there are 2 animals on one tile. This is sort of a percentile of that. And this shows a percentile of the ones that are dangerous animals. So you have this little key to kind of say, behind this one I can get one of these 2. There's this chance of being 2 animals on it, which is good, obviously. There's also 50% shot that it's a dangerous animal, obviously, because it's a goddamn leopard. So you have mountains, swamplands, and forests, and animals. It's very interesting, a good little tile, honestly. It gives you a little bit of information, but it gives you what you need. Basically, whoever has the expedition leader tile decides where we start off. So start down here, for example, flip it over. And this is an example of just one animal on one tile, nothing special about it. And then we start at the expedition leader here and say, do you want to take that animal? He says, no. Red, do you want to take that animal? No. Blue, do you want? No. Right, then we continue. Continue over here. And this is an example of 2 animals on one tile that look like this. And then again, yellow, do you want to take it? No. Red, do you want to take it? No. Blue, do you want to take it? No. Okay, move on. This one. And here you have an example of an endangered. You should almost think I have done this on purpose. Again, there's 2 on it and it is endangered. 1 doesn't mean anything. So we move on and we say, yellow, do you want to take? No, it's blue. Okay, and hopefully this should be another endangered. This is a leopard. Now there's 2 endangered, so there's no other choice. The expedition is stranded right here. These 2 endangered ones, they're discarded. Oh, by the way, when you're done building the grid, should be a stack of 11 left. And these 2 animals that are not endangered, dangerous things, hello, goes to the person. The expedition leader moves on, and he starts from somewhere and go down here, and then you continue around and round and around and around. Oh, by the way, wait. You also remove your expedition guy. So yellow is no longer a part of this expedition. And then you just go until everybody has removed their expedition person, or there's no tiles left, whatever comes first. Then you count off points, as I said on here. Let's just give an example right here. Well, this is a terrible example because there's only 1 of each of these animals, but that would be 3 points because I have 1 of each of those. If I had these endangered ones with it, 2 of each of those, which are 3 points, so that's 3, 6, 9. Yeah, and unfortunately I'm missing 1 animal to have all 6 animals and thereby have 20 points. So this would be 9 points, just as an example and you can of course the scoring here. Then whoever has the most amount of points wins. So yeah, it's very simple when you don't have to spend 15 minutes setting up the grid. Let's get back to the shelves, which it's the new things I'm going to say now. Right, that's the setup and the gameplay. Now I don't usually talk a lot about this setup, but I'm going to mention it for this one, because the setup for this one is a pain. Setting up all of those tiles is a pain. I usually use a playmat just to hold it a little bit, but it is such a pain in the butt. Pain in the ass. Cleaning it up is okay. I mean, I use a plastic bag, which is somewhat annoying, but you just kind of into the box. But it's such a pain to set it up, this game. Incredible. Does the gameplay make up for that? I mean, I love the little player aid disc. It gives you exactly the amount of information you need. Nothing more, nothing less. It's perfect. You can always look at it, do a calculation, and try and go for it. The gameplay itself, moving it, I like that you sort of moving the expedition. You take turns being expedition leader and choosing it out. This gives you the advantage to pick the animals first, and it's also your choice to push or lock, or take what is already there to try and score as many points as possible. I would have loved if the rarity of the animals was more of a point giver, because in the mountains there are less animals from the mountains. They should give more points, but they give the same amount of points. But otherwise, I do love the set collection aspect of it, collecting as many as possible. The same animals, so therefore, if it's just different animals, is it worth it or not? Well, there's of course the fact that if you have different animals, you get 20 points, and you do that, of course, per time you have different animals, not just, you know, have 3 sets of different animals, 20 points. No, that would be 60 points. So depending on how it plays, you can get really high score or a really low score. But in the end, the gameplay of it is kind of the same, and it's not because it's so exciting. Because at the first 2 or 3, unless they're like exactly the same animals, you don't have any doubt about the fact that people are going to continue. The person that is expedition leader, he'll probably continue until he has first danger. When the first danger arrives, that's when you start making decisions. But that could be 5 tiles in. I mean, I would not set a second choice and be like, well, I'm not going to choose it now that we're 3 tiles in and there's, you know, 3 chameleons or whatever. There's 3 1-tile animals. As when we got a 2-tile animal or a 2-tile animal with an endangered, that's when we start thinking, now we're in an endangered, man. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Am I going to choose it over you or not? Are you going to choose it? That's when the decisions arrive. But in the end, it's the same decision. Do I take these animals? Do I want to hope that the person next after me do not take these animals so we can push it a little further? What do we do? Yeah. And once you then go down, you only have 1 left at your radar. You're just going to go as many tiles as possible until you have 2 endangered. It would be stupid not to do it. I mean, the only reason it wouldn't be stupid if it was after the first 2 you just get endangered, or dangerous. Otherwise, you're just going to do that. So the gameplay of it is a bit boring, a bit repetitive, but it's also okay. It is fun. Like, it's a fun little filler game. Well, it's not a filler game because the setup of it takes so fucking long. Yeah, honestly, the setup is dragging this one down because I can't. Every time I bring this out, I can't think of anything other than the fact that I'm going to have to spend so much time setting this game up, and it's so fucking annoying. So let's move on to components. The components are nice, thick cardboard tiles. Awesome looking little meeples with hats and stuff. Look awesome. And yeah, that's it. But it's perfectly good. Like, it doesn't have many components, but it makes sure that the components that it has have is as good as possible, and that's a bonus. That's amazing. Absolutely. So nothing more there. The theme, exploration. I think the exploration part hits pretty well in the fact that you don't know what you're going to find. It doesn't hit in the fact that you're constantly finding animals. I don't know if you would document all the animals on this go. It's sort of, it's nice, but really just is a meh theme, sort of. Does it lie to you? Let's just move straight on to that. I don't have much to say. 2 to 5 players. Well, 3 to 4, realistically. 5 is a bit too many, there's too much choice. 2 is too boring, like there's no real choice when you sit there, push your luck or not. 3 or 4, you start getting some choice, because the first expedition leader, you have 2 more people who need to say no before you can move on. And as well, and even coming into as the second person, there's still a person after you. And then 4 players is a bit more, but I would prefer this at 3. 4 is still the thing of like, there is actually a choice because there's people after you. What are they going to choose? And 8 and up, yeah. I mean, this is one where you don't even need language. You just need to understand the, you know, different colors, really. And understand The high likelihood of the danger, it's not difficult. So what am I going to give Costa Rica? Reveal the Rainforest. It's a 6. And it's on the setup strength down a lot in terms of wanting to play it again and give it a higher score. The gameplay is very simple, but simple gameplay is not bad. It takes the most of a simple premise and makes it pretty good with some amazing, the best play rate I've ever seen. And it's just really good, but it's a 6 out of 10. Am I keeping it? The answer to that is no. I'm not going to keep Costa Rica. If I do ever play online, Costa Rica is one of the first games I'll get, because then that online thing can do the setup for me. Yeah, I'm not going to play this game because I don't want to set it up. That's where I'm at with this game. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Tabletop Reviews. Until next time, bye!